Hi, I'm Leanne. I'm a lightworker and a mother to 3 special girls. I strive to continue learning, growing, and to collect new skills. I'm a psychic medium, Reiki master teacher, and Akashic record reader and energy healer. I am so excited to share what I've learned and what I'm going to learn and the ups and downs of life. Thank you for joining me on my journey. Welcome to Life of a Lightworker podcast. Hello everybody. I'm going to start off with a card pull. This week I was called to go to the Chris Ann's The Light Seers Tarot deck. Okay, so I will shuffle the cards with the intention of what do the people listening right now need to hear at this moment when they are listening to this episode. Okay, so the card that got pulled is the Two of Pentacles. It was pulled in the upright position, which is the light seer position in this book. It says, a need to balance many aspects of self, juggling obligations, equilibrium, seeking harmony. With all of these roles and responsibilities that you've been juggling, you may be feeling a little imbalanced. Busy much? Maybe your calendar is totally overbooked and you're feeling the stress of being stretched into too many directions. You may be feeling the need to better balance dualities or opposing aspects of your life. Your time alone versus your time with others, or your material life versus your spiritual life, etc. Make sure you aren't investing too many resources in one area at the expense of another, especially when both are equally as important. Even though this card suggests that you're likely able to manage it all, do you desire this much juggling? Put some of your precious energy into creating a balance that you absolutely love. One that will allow you time to work, play, love, and create. This equilibrium will not take from your reserves of energy, but will add to it. I create an equilibrium in my life that allows me to be my best self. When I look at the imagery of the card, there's a woman holding 2 bags, and each bag has the pentacle on them. One is high, one is low, and it feels like she is in the middle of dancing, in the middle of swinging them up and down. She's balancing them, but it feels like she's balancing them with motion. She's not balancing them with stagnation. It feels like there is this ebb and flow with each purse being one's high, one's low, but overall, collectively, it's balanced in the middle. So we don't need to be perfectly balanced all the time. Some areas are high, other areas are low, and then we switch and we toggle back and forth. It feels like we hug the line, we hug the balance, we go over the balance in a curve line, and we don't need to stay perfectly in the middle. We have wiggle room. We can have the ebb and flow, and following the flow of the energy around you and not fighting it and allowing it to move this way doesn't have to be bad. You don't have to fight it in order to make it right in the middle. It's okay to have those ups and downs, those seemingly imbalances that will balance when you consciously choose. So you may notice that one area you spent a little bit more time on, or more energy on. It could just be your thoughts. And notice within yourself where you are putting more time and where there is imbalance, and make a conscious effort to add more to what you have been ignoring, so that you can tip the scales in the other way for a little bit to find the balance, because you have had it the other way for however long that you have been dealing with this. So you may find that there's like a weekly flow, a daily flow, an hourly flow. There's no right or wrong. It's whatever's right for you, your energy, your life, your style, for the energy of those around you. It's not just specifically you. You have to take on, you have to work with the energy of your family, of your friends, of your coworkers. So being more flexible, because I feel like when we talk about balance, it feels kind of stressful that we have to find perfect balance. No, we don't have to find perfect balance. We have to be aware of where we are putting more energy than others and to redirect the energy to take away a little bit from where we've been focusing and put that energy to where we've been lacking. We create this balance over time. It doesn't have to be all the time, every minute, every second. We can choose how we work with the energy around us. One thing that I'm being called to say is it's better to look inside yourself and feel where you need to redirect your energy instead of logically thinking where you need to redirect your energy. Because there are times where we are being called to work in certain areas, and when we go against that flow, it's more work. So following that flow of where we're being called to go, where our interest and our desire and where the excitement is in our life, we're called to go towards that. And it feels like that's where we will, like the card said before, it's like where we fill ourselves up, where we get our energy from. But it's also important to take steps back and breaks so that we can check in with ourselves. Because if you go gung-ho into something and you're like a racehorse with the blinders on, you're going straight forward, it's hard to listen to your body, hard to listen to your soul for when you need to stop, when you need to redirect, when you need to put a little bit of extra time in something else. So even though you're being called in this direction, take time to stop. Take time to rest, look within, so that you can check in with yourself to see if there's an imbalance. So that if there's something that if you don't check in with yourself, you might not notice that, oh, I need to pay more attention in this other area of my life right now. I can take a little bit of a break and focus over here. Coming into ourselves and checking in with our hearts, our souls, our bodies to see where we need to go. We get so caught up in this one thing that we're excited about and that we have this strong focus on that we are blinded to all the energy around us. And most of the time, it's subtle, the messages that we are receiving. Sometimes it's a big message, but usually we get the subtle messages, especially early on. So if we don't listen, we get a big message, but it's good to catch them when they're little so that we have more time and energy to redirect and correct. So I invite you to follow your heart, follow your passions, follow what excites you, but take the time to check in with yourself. Schedule it in so that every day or every week you have a check-in with yourself, you have a little meditation, you have a visualization, you have time by yourself where you're scanning your body and you see how it feels. You could ask yourself questions. You could say, should I continue on this path at this speed? And see how your body feels. Should I be directing some of my energy into these other areas of my life? And see how your body feels. And ask yourself as many questions as you can think of so that you can gain insight. Sometimes we don't get full-on sentences when we are saying, what do I need to know? It's easier to recognize the messages that we are receiving if we ask a question and then we feel in our bodies if it's a yes or a no or a maybe. And if you work with pendulums, this is great work for that. But if not, using your body and seeing how it feels is really important. You're looking for subtle differences for expansions, contractions, like a good feeling or a bad feeling, and being able to sit in it so we can use that energy, that direction, to help balance our lives. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions, or comments, or would like to chat, I would love to hear from you. You can message me on my website, spruceenergyhealing.com, or on Facebook and Instagram. I'm Spruce Energy Healing. If you would like to work with me, I have 3 one-on-one sessions. I have the soul reading and healing session, which is where I go into the Akashic Records and I talk to your soul and your guides and find out what you need to know. If you have any specific questions or issues in your life, we can work through those and do the healings that your soul and the Akashic Records, your guides, are calling me to do, and giving you some tools so that you can do this yourself as well. So you can continue the healing after the session. I do scans of the chakras and balance your chakras, and we can find cords and the sources of the trauma, the sources of the blocks within you. That is what I do in that session. In the business empowerment and expansion session, we look at the energetics of the business and communicate with your business to see what it wants to bring forth. We work on your blocks that might be hindering the business, and we can ask questions to your business to see what about timing or certain things that you are wondering that you want to bring forth, but you're unsure of exactly how. We can talk to your business about that. In my intuition development session, we go into the session with the intention of growing your intuition, letting it flourish, and there might be some blocks that may be hindering your growth or being able to fully step into your intuition. So we work on that, and we also, when we talk to your soul, I ask specifically what kind of tools, what kind of activities, what kind of practices can you do to help you in this moment for what your soul wants to work on, for what your soul wants to develop. So we have this lovely communication with the intention of growing and expanding yourself. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and I look forward to talking to you next week.